Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. It is Wednesday, September 23rd, or let me back up. Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. And my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you're watching me today on Creating Cards with Debbie. I'd like to welcome you here today. Be sure that you comment when you come on and say hello. And if you're new today, let us know where you're watching this from. All right, I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get here. I might have came on a little bit earlier. Okay. And I'm using a new software today too, so I'm hoping that it goes well. I did do a practice run on the other day when I did paper pumpkins, so that seemed to go all right. So I'm hoping today it does the same. All right, like I said, I am creating cards with Debbie, and you can shop with me in my store at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And you'll see the host code for September that's only good for another 3 days until the 30th is going across the bottom of the screen. So that is XH47QQYH. And you'll use that host code if your order is under $150. But if it's over $150, don't use that code. And if you'd like to email me for any questions or anything that you might want to ask me, you can reach me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. Okay, so let's go through all the housekeeping things that we got to do before we get started. Like I mentioned, I did a paper pumpkin the other day. And this is the October paper pumpkin, and it's called Home for the Holidays. Create sparkling Christmas cards with this kit. And it says Home for the Holidays. Paper pumpkin kit. You can sign up for this kit until October 10th. And this will be the October kit. You get everything you need to create shimmery, sparkling Christmas cards. And that is, you get, the kit includes 8 card bases, 4 each of 2 designs, 8 coordinating envelopes, 1 real red Stampin' Spot, 1 glitter glue bottle, and I've never seen Paper Pumpkin include a glue bottle before, so that's kind of a new thing. And beautifully detailed pre-cut pieces, and 1 photopolymer stamp set. And you can sign up for me. I think I have it added to the description of this video, so for Paper Pumpkin. If not, just go to my website that I gave you to shop at, and you should be able to find it right there. All right, and also Stampin' Up! Is running a special release on Shop Our New Designer Series paper. And I think there's 5 different paper packs that you can get. Yeah, it says we've added 5 new paper options to our online exclusives category. So you'll find those in our online exclusives. And let me switch my view here. There we go. All right, then October 7th is our free virtual card making event that Stampin' Up! Has going on their website. And it says, let's craft together. And they kind of give us a sampling of what stamp sets and bundles they're going to be using. They're going to be using the circle sayings, the earthen textures, and the heartfelt hexagon. And when you sign up for that on Stampin' Up, they'll also give you the list of supplies that you'll need, and it also says what card measurements to do on each project. So that's kind of handy. You can do that ahead of time. And let's see what else we've got going on. Okay, Okay, I'd like to invite you to join my team, which it is $99 for the kit. That's free shipping and handling, and you'll receive $125 worth of product of your choice. But we've got a little sneak peek into starting on, I think it's October 3rd. Yes, from October 3rd to the 31st of October. It's their 35th anniversary, and they want to celebrate. From October 3rd to October 31st, you can choose one of the following options for your starter kit when you sign up as a new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Option 1, you get 35% off your starter kit, and that's $125 worth of product for $64.35. Or you can take option 2 and get 35% more product with your starter kit. Spend $99 and get $168.75 worth of product. Both options, you get free shipping and free business supplies, not to mention all the fun that comes with being a part of Stampin' Up! And by signing up for this offer, you'll even receive free registration to our online onstage event this November, and that's a $75 or $77 value. So that's really exciting. If you have any questions, just email me, and I'd be happy to help you with that. Okay, so I guess we'll get started. I guess that's all the news that I have to share with you today. We're going to be doing 3 cards today, and our first one is going to be our fun fold. So let me get all of our supplies out here. We'll get started. I've done some of the prep work ahead of time, so you don't have to watch me struggle with all of that. Okay. We're going to be using the Simply Elegant trim, and it's got the gold and the silver trim. We're using our Misty Moonlight cardstock, and okay, let me get the card out here and show you. It says sending warmth your way. Let me get back in the camera view here. And when you open it, you're going to see the whole sheet of the 6x6 paper. Instead of just having a partial, we're going to use the whole sheet. And then this is another piece of another pattern. So this is one pattern and this is one pattern, or one different sheet. And then the back side, you could also put a white piece layer in the back to be able to write a little message or anything. But I put a little piece right here, so enough room to sign it. But if you wanted to write a little bit extra in there, you'd have to add some to the back. So we're going to bring our paper trimmer out here because we're going to do some scoring. And look at my instructions. So we've got our Night of Navy cardstock, and that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I'm going to score it at 2 1/8 inches and 4 1/4 inches. So let's do that 2 1/8 inch first. And make sure you don't have your cutting blade there, or you'll cut your paper off. So we're going to use a scoring blade and score that really good, and at the 2 1/8, and then we're going to go over to our 4 1/4 inch and score it again. Okay, so we've got that. So I think that's all we got to use. Well, now we're going to be cutting our paper. So here's our designer series paper. I've already cut it down to, it'll be 6 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And we're going to cut those down for our panels, and each one is going to be at 2 inches. So now we use the cutting blade, and I even replaced my cutting blade just a few minutes ago, so it's nice and sharp. Alright, we want to keep these in order because we're going to lay them on there in order. So let me move this out of the way. And be sure when you come on that you comment, say hello. Okay, so we're going to fold this back on the and we're going to give that a good crisp edge. And this one we're going to fold back. Alright, and then we're going to lay that out and we're going to start layering. And here. And then I've gone ahead and cut our other layer. This has the trees on the other side with the little dots. So we're going to grab our glue, and I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here so I can use that to glue my layers. I don't get glue all over everything. Let me know what you think of my new format here with the picture-in-picture kind of thing. I was having trouble before when I do it manually, so I'm trying this program out to see how it works. So far, I think I'm going to like it once I learn it. You know, we hate to learn new things, especially reading directions on anything. Who's with me on that one? Okay, we'll lay down our second layer, and now we're going to work on our third layer. Hope everybody's well today. Alright, we're going to line this up against our score line. Okay, so I have a basic white that's going to go at the bottom of this for us to write our signature on, and that measures, let's see, 1 7/8 inches by 2 7/8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And we're going to leave a small border around the bottom and the sides. And now we'll glue that to the inside of our card. One thing about doing the picture-in-picture on my video, I got to make sure that I do my hair and makeup. Alright, so there's our card so far. And that's our fun fold. Alright. And then I've got a scrap of our basic white. Let me close up my glue here for a moment. We're going to do our stamping. And I forgot to say where our paper came from. It comes from our One Horse Open Sleigh pack of Designer Series paper. And this is our little speckle edge that we're using on the one side. And well, this just shows a partial of the other paper that we're using. So I love all the patterns in there. And the stamp set is from the Horse and Sleigh, and we're going to use the Sending Warmth Your Way stamp
sentiment. And I've already got that mounted on my block already, so let me grab that. Make sure I grab the right one. And we're going to use the Night of Navy ink pad to ink that up with. And it looks pretty good. Now we can close up our ink pad so we don't have any accidents. And I'm going to bring my paper snips over here, and I'm going to cut those apart. And let me see how I want to do this. I think we'll go with this one first. And I'm just cutting these block style. I guess that's what you'd call it. So you're away. And we'll cut off our warmth there and cut that down. And sending. And let me square that off a little bit. And snip that. Okay, so we've got sending warmth your way. Get all of our trash out of there. Bring our card back over here. We're going to use our liquid glue to attach those. So I'm going to start out with the sending. Put that on the upper portion, kind of off to the left a little bit. And warmth. Set straight. And your way. Okay. And of course our trim that I showed you before is our Simply Elegant trim. This is in our annual catalog, and it comes in the silver and the gold. Looks like I've been using more silver than I have gold, so. And I'm going to bring over a mini glue dot to attach that. And I'll take your pick tool to grab a hold of one of those glue dots. And I want to kind of roll it into a small ball. I'm going to place that right above our layer of white that we're going to be writing our note, our signature on. And place that down. This is a double bowl that I made with the trim. I forgot to mention that. Let me shorten these tails just a little bit. And of course, we're not complete until we do a little bit of bling here. I don't have my rhinestones over here. Let me grab those out of my container. And these are our basic jewels, rhinestones. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool to grab hold of those. And I think I'm going to use the medium-sized ones. And one more we'll put Let's put it over here. Alright, so there's our card. Sending warmth your way. And you can put your signature and stuff here. And like I said, you could put another white layer on the back side to be able to write a little note if you wanted a little bit more room. So here's our first card. Let me pick up some of this trash a little bit. Get rid of that out of my way. Okay, our next card is going to be a fall card. And I've also decorated the envelope, so here we go with that. It says, autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. And then here's the inside. I've got, hope your day is a happy one. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on that. Let me set that up there so I can look at it as an example. Alright, so our base of our card with this one is going to be our pecan pie. And it measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then I've scored it in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So let's go ahead and fold that over and burnish that score line really good. Move some more things out of the way here. Alright. And that's my envelope. Alright, let me see. We've got two very vanilla. One goes on the inside and one's for the outside. So I want to make sure I've got the right one. Yeah. So here's our very vanilla. That's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then I've got our designer series paper, which comes from the Glorious Gingham. And we're using this color here, the pecan pie. And it's got two different designs. It's got a larger gingham and then a smaller gingham on the other side. So we're going to use the larger gingham. So, don't want to put that down yet. No. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to assemble it first before I attach it to our card. I got my layers all upside down here, so I'm grabbing them backwards here. And I've got a layer of very vanilla, and that measures 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. And I've embossed it using, let me find my embossing folder. I used it on another card, so I had to grab that. Oops. I had the embossing folder. I'm using the Time Worn Type 3D. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up that well. I guess it is a little bit. But anyway, that measured 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. And that's going to go across the center of our designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Trucks are noisy today. Just trying to see if I got this going the right direction. Yeah. And we're going to put that across the center of our designer series paper. And so I can just see if that's straight. Alright. And then I have a piece of the pecan pie
bordered ribbon. And I think this measures about 4.5 inches. And that's just going to go across the center of our layer there. But I'm going to use my tear and tape to attach that with. And I got the end of it here. And like it says, it's just tearing tape. Just tear it off. You don't even need a scissors. And I'm going to take your pick tool to lift up that. And then we're going to lay our ribbon down across the center. And I'm trying to get it fairly straight. And let's see, I can do some trimming here. And a little bit of trimming on this side. All right. And what did I do with my dies? I use the stylish shapes to die cut the circle with the pecan pie, and this next smaller one to cut out a berry vanilla. So, I'm sure it might not have them in here, except this two. Yes, the pecan pie is this one, and then the vanilla, berry vanilla is the next size down of the circles. And if you don't have these stylish shapes dies, they're really handy. You get circles, we get the squares, some banners. So I use them all the time. It's one of my go-to all the time. All right, we're going to stamp our sentiment first on here. We're going to use pecan pie to stamp that with. Covering up my things here. Things covering up my stamps here. Had to move out of the way. So we're using the Autumn Teaches Us that change can be beautiful. And I didn't show you what stamp sets we're using here. Jumping the gun. We're using the Autumn Leaves bundle, the stamps and the dies. You can get those at a 10% savings. You get both at the same time, you bundle them. And then the inside sentiment we're using is hope your day is a happy one. So I got ahead of myself there a little bit. Let's stamp our sentiment on our berry vanilla circle. I'm going to put it off to the upper right hand side. And I should have used my cushion for that, but we're going to hope for the best. And that looks good. And we'll close that up. So I'm going to go ahead and attach our vanilla circle to our pecan pie circle. And center that. And then I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. And I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Okay. I've done the die cutting ahead of time. I cut out a leaf from the pecan pie, another leaf from copper clay, and a little sprig from the copper clay. And then I used this is the silver and gold 12 by 12 adhesive backed glimmer paper. And we're using the gold one. You get a gold and a silver. But it's got the adhesive on it already, so you don't have to worry about trying to glue tiny things. So I already die cut those out. I've got 2 sprigs of gold. This is what it looks like. So it's really cool stuff. It saves a lot of work when you don't have to sit there and glue the tiny spots. Alright, and this one. And these are the dies that we used. That comes from that set. And we're going to attach those onto our circle. So we're going to arrange them. I think we're going to put this one this way and this other one kind of at an angle. And this one's going to go across the bottom. We'll put our copper clay leaf on the left side. But I want to put the pecan pie one underneath it. So somewhat like this. I'm going to start attaching those down so we can get it done. And that just pulls off really easy. So we're going to attach our one gold one, our other gold one on the other side. And let's see, keep it up underneath our letters there. Paper didn't come off or something. Yeah, it did. I guess I just didn't press it down. And we're going to take our pecan pie leaf and set that down there. But we're just going to attach that with just regular adhesive. And kind of center that. Let me see. How do I want that? Maybe like this. And our other one too, we're just going to add adhesive to that. And this one, I think we're going to snip off that long tail of it, shorten it, and I didn't use that adhesive behind this one, so I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on that to hold it, and kind of tuck it up underneath, just a little ways. Alright, so let's take our dimensional backings off. And take your pick tool, pop those off. And now we're going to attach that to the front of our card, just over the ribbon. We're going to have a little bit of the ribbon sticking out each side. Okay, then on the ribbon, let me show you here what I did. Well, I took the ribbon and I just cut it right down the center, lengthwise. And then that kind of causes it to shred a little bit, so you get all these little extra strings, which are kind of pretty. And I made a bow with that. I didn't do a double bow, I just did a single bow. And we're going to attach that to the bottom of our circle there. And my mini glue dots have disappeared. I just had them. Oh, they're hiding right here. And I'll grab a mini glue dot. And we're going to put that right at the bottom of our leaves. Just kind of adds a little chic, shabby chic. Alright, now we can attach that to our card fronts. And we're going to use our adhesive of choice, but you could use any kind of adhesive that you prefer. We're going to add that to our vanilla layer. I was really happy how this card turned out. I was kind of surprised by myself. You ever have those moments when something turns out so good that you can't believe that you made it? This is one of those. And we'll bring our card front over here and put that on there. Leave a small border going around. Okay, I want to do that over a little bit more, but it wouldn't budge on me, and I don't want to fight with it, so it's fine where it is. Alright, so there's that, and we're going to bling up that front of our card a little bit. So I'm going to use the pastel adhesive back sequins, and these come in 3 different colors, and there's 2 different sizes, one larger and one smaller. But we're going to use the gold, and I'm going to use the large ones. And I'm going to place 3 onto our card front. I always go usually 3s. I like to do odd numbers. And we're going to put our third one, is always the hardest to figure out what to do with. I think I'm going to put that right there. And so there's the front of our card. Tell me what you think. Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. Alright, so let's work on the inside of our card, and I've got another vanilla, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and a 3/4 inch piece of that designer series paper that matches the front, and that's 3/4 inches by 4 inches. We'll put that at the bottom, but I'm going to do my stamping first, because just in case it doesn't work out, I can turn it over and re-stamp it again. So, and we're using Hope Your Day is a Happy One. And right in the center. That looks pretty good to me. And then we'll attach our little strip at the bottom. And I'm going to put that right up against the bottom edge. Sometimes I keep it up a little bit, but I'm just going to put it all the way down to the bottom. And turn it over and trim off a little tiny bit here. Now we can glue that to the inside of our card. there's our second card. Put it down here so you can see it. And the inside. I was really happy how that turned out. Alright, and then our third card, we're going to be doing some heat embossing. So I need to get my heat gun plugged in here. I haven't done that yet. Bear with me a moment. Grab the cord. Okay, got that done. And there's something. Oops, we forgot our envelope. We're going to decorate our envelope too. So here's one of our envelopes that we have. You can get those on my out of our catalog. Shop with me. And then I've got the Designer Series paper, which is 2 1/8 inches by 6 inches. And we're going to attach that to our envelope flap. And bring my silicone mat back over here so I don't get ink everywhere. And I'm going to put some glue just around our envelope flap. And just put that right up against the seam of our flap there. And press that down. And we're going to come back in with our paper snips and we're going to trim that. So there's our flap of our envelope. But we're going to also doll up the front of it a little bit. And I'm going to use the big oak leaf that's in that same stamp set. And I'm going to use the pecan pie. And I need a scrap of paper. I'm going to stamp off the first layer, first generation. And we're going to do second generation. So we're going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to stamp that right where you're going to write your recipient's address and everything. But it'll be a faint image so you'll be able to write over it yet. I just thought that'd be a little something extra. Alright. So let me bring that card back over here and show you both here. So, see, just no naked envelope that way. I almost forgot to do it. I did it, but then I almost forgot to show y'all. Okay, so let's bring our third project out here. And let me make sure I've got everything. Okay, so this is going to be a birthday card. Happy birthday. And I haven't done the inside yet. I wasn't sure what I wanted to put on the inside, so I may have to finish that later. Where did I? Okay, here's the stamp set that we're using in the moment. And I've got a lot of glare on that. There we go. Hold that up a little bit. We're using the little girl here. She's sitting on the beach, it looks like, looking out her balcony. And the paper that we're using comes from the Let's Go Fishing. And we're using this pattern right here. It kind of looks like denim to me. instructions. Well, trying to make some room here. You can't see my desk area, but it's kind of crowded. I've got everything all over the place. Alright, we're going to start out with our card base, which is the Misty Moonlight. And it's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that edge really good with our bone folder. And instead of opening like we did with our last card like this, we're going to open it sideways like this. So, and I'm going to change up this one a little bit. I didn't have the white background behind the mat, so I'm going to do this card with the white background behind the designer series paper. I thought it'd throw it off a little bit more. So that's going to measure, our basic weight measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, and then our designer series paper measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I've embossed our designer series paper with the same embossing folder that we used previously. Where did I put that? Oh, it's right here beside me. Could have bit me. With the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So I've already done that ahead of time. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up the embossed area on there or not. It sort of does. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and glue down our layers. I'm going to glue our designer series paper to our basic white layer. And again, I'm using my Tombow glue. I can hear the ridges of the embossed area there when I'm putting my glue on there. So I know I did it. And it's just going to leave a small white border going all the way around it. And we can put that onto our card base. And again, we're going to have a small border going around. Yeah, I like that. It throws it off a little bit more. You can tell the difference here. Yeah, I like the white behind it. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. And I'm using the Stylish Shapes Again dies. And I use the larger square and then the next size square. So, but I'm going to stamp our image onto this one. And it's going to be our girl. And I'm just going to use our black Memento ink. And line that up with our small white square. And I want to make sure I get those birds in there too. I don't want to cut them off. And I'm not going to color the whole image. I'm only going to color her hat. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue. And these are both the dark Stampin' Blends. So we're going to start out, well, I guess I got one's a light Misty Moonlight and the dark Boho Blue. I might have grabbed the wrong ones. But I'm just going to outline her hat just a little bit with the dark.
going to come in with the light misty moonlight and color in the rest of her hat. I think I should have done this the opposite. Like I said, I'm only going to do her hat. I'm not going to color any other part of her. You could if you wanted to, but I wanted to just bring out a little color. I didn't want the whole thing colored. These went out the lines right there. Get these dies out of the way, and we're going to start assembling. This is going to go like a triangle, and then this one is going to fit in the center of that one. And then I've got a banner that I've already cut out with a misty moonlight paper using one of those banners from that same dies. And I've got the textured ribbon. This is the boho blue. And I didn't measure it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. It's going to go up underneath our banner. So let me go ahead and do our heat embossing first. So we're going to use our Versamark, and we're going to use our white embossing powder, our embossing buddy, to get rid of any static cling that might be on our paper. And just wiping any excess stuff out of my tool here. Some mark ink, our stamp that says happy birthday, and that comes from our stamp set, which is the So Sincere. I've been using that for the inside sentiment, hope your day is a happy one, but it's got the vertical happy birthday along with it, so that's what we're using. So I'm going to ink that up with my Versamark ink. And we're going to center that on our label. Oops, and I've got, I don't like that one. Let's get a different one here. I messed that one up. I could wipe it off, but I don't want to take the time right now, so I've got an extra label here. Just bring out the other one. And we'll do that again. And don't rock the boat here, just go straight down. That's better. Put your lid on your Versamark ink before you get the powder out. And let's do that again. Looks like I might have gotten a smudge right there. Alright, and with your tool here, you can just take the cap off and pour that back into your container. But I'm just going to set that aside for now, and I'll do that later. I'll probably regret it if I jump it over. Set it over there. Hopefully it'll be safer. Alright, let's bring our heat gun out here. And I'm going to use my little tweezers here to hold it in place so I don't burn my fingers.
It will take it a moment to get hot before it starts melting our powder, but it doesn't take very long. You'll see it changing here in a minute. There, it's starting to. Okay, all done. Doesn't take very long once it gets warmed up where it's supposed to be. So happy birthday. And then we're going to grab our ribbon. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here how long I want it to be. So I'm going to snip off this end. And I'm going to snip off this end a little bit. Kind of angle it a little. And I'm going to take my fingernails and I'm going to pull some of those strings because I want to fringe it a little bit, and then I'll trim that all off. And I'll do the same for the other side. And see, you've got little fringes at each end. And that's going to go over the top of that. So I'm going to bring out my tear and tape again. I forgot where I put it. And we're going to attach that ribbon down. And let's see. And take your pick tool, go, here it is. Lay our ribbon on top of that. Fairly straight. Now I'll put some more tear and tape on the back of this. You probably could glue it down with another adhesive, but I think the tear and tape probably holds the best. It's a little bit too long, so we need to trim that off a little bit. And lift that layer up to expose our tape. And then we're going to lay that right over our ribbon. And it's there to stay. Alright, now we're going to take our white square and we're going to attach that to our Misty Moonlight square. But I'm going to angle it, so I'm going to use my grid paper to kind of guide me a little bit. So I'm going to get both of those points at the same line. And now I can get this on here straight. Or somewhat straight. And just looking at both sides to make sure it's even. That looks good. And then we'll add our glue at the back. And we'll put that on the front of our card then. And I'm putting this on like a diamond shape, kind of. And making sure that's straight. I think it is. Alright, so there's that. And then I'm going to add some classic matte dots. And I'm going to use the white ones. And think I'm going to go with the one large one and then 2 little ones. And maybe one right there. So we've got a triangle going on. Alright, so here's the front of our card. And the inside of our card is our basic white also. And that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And that'll be our center of our card. And we'll attach that to the inside. And I think we're going to use that same sentiment. Hope your day is a happy one. But I need to grab my Simply Chamois and clean the ink off of that from our previous card. And I was debating if I wanted to use Night of Navy or if I wanted to use just black memento. I think I'm going to go with just the black memento ink. And I should have stamped that before I glued that in there in case I goof it up, but hold my breath and hope for the best. So right in the center. Oh, not bad, I'll take it. Alright, let me get my things out of the way. Clean up a little bit here, make some room. So I hope you enjoyed the cards today, and be sure that you like and share the video, and you tell your friends to come join us. And if you're watching it later on YouTube, I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button that's down below, and also click that bell, and you'll be notified when I upload any new videos. So I want to thank you for being here today. Let me see if I can get all these cards on here without too much problem. I guess it's working, kind of. Alright, so there's our 3 cards for today. And I want to invite you back next week, which will be October 4th. And I'm thinking instead of doing the 1 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, I think I'm going to change it next week to 10 a.m. Central Time. And I want to see how that works out for everybody. If you don't like it, you can let me know, and I'll switch back to our normal time, or what other time you might prefer. I'm open for suggestions. So until next week, I'm going to say goodbye. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and oh, and don't forget to share this video also on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook, and be sure that you like it also. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll see you next Wednesday, October 4th. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.